Welcome back. You're watching The Money Show with me, Kavita Thapliyal. There are plethora of funds available in the market and to invest your hard-earned money. But how do you assess which is the right fund for your portfolio? What are the criteria that one should look at? To help you navigate through this maze, we have on board Gautam Kalia, Senior Vice President, Head Super Investor at Sharekhan by BNP Paribas. So if in case you want to ask your portfolio-related queries, you can WhatsApp your question on 865-797-4571. You can also email us your queries on themoneyshow@etnow.tv. All right, so we move on, and we've got our first viewer online with us, Babu Papia. Good evening. How are you doing, sir?
Fine.
Okay, so you want to invest 5,000 per month for 10 years, and you are preferring a risky investment scheme, and your expectation is almost 12.5%, right?
Return.
Return, yeah, expectation, yeah, return expectation. All right,
And,
got it. Sure, yeah.
Risk. So what is the best
You can-
investment and portfolio fund?
So you have a good risk appetite, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Please suggest the scheme.
Sure. Exactly. Gautam, although 12.5, I think is a decent amount of expectation, but I don't know if you want to go more conservative. He's got 10 years time horizon and 5,000 per month.
Right. If I can ask, how much of your savings is 5,000 a month? Is it something that you want to start off with and then gradually increase, or are you looking to create a portfolio with the 5,000 investment?
I think he wants to start off with 5,000, but then do you wish to step up your SIP later on?
Gradually increase.
Gradual increase. Okay, Gautam.
So what I'll do is I'll suggest a couple of funds that you can start off with, and then when you start to gradually increase, then you can probably add a few more funds to your portfolio. I'm here assuming that you'll probably take your portfolio to a 10 to 15,000 rupees a month SIP eventually. So you can start off with something in the flexi cap space where you're allowing the fund manager to take decisions on which cap to invest in, and something on the large cap side where you're actually investing in some of the largest companies in India. So you can go in for, let's say, a Kotak Flexi Cap fund and a ICICI Prudential Blue Chip fund. And these two can be like your starting investments, and then gradually you can build upon that in your SIPs. 12.5%, typically the projections that we give are at 12%. Historically, the market has given 15 to 16% annualized, but there have been scenarios where the market has returned negative 30-40% as well. So really, that's something that you'll have to keep in mind, and you'll have to. I understand that volatility is the price of admission for investing, in equities.
Gautam, could you repeat the funds that you recommended?
Kotak FlexiCap Fund and ICICI Prudential Blue Chip Fund.
Okay. In future, as he said that he wants to increase his investment amount gradually, should he be increasing the investment amount in these funds, or you would advise him to have one more fund in his portfolio?
Suggest an addition of a third fund, maybe like a balanced advantage fund. If he wants to add more funds in, more increases allocation. If he's okay taking a slightly higher risk, then probably I would suggest a small and mid cap fund, to add.
All right. Or maybe what
But
he can do
is
is just
later.
send. Yeah.
That's later once he increases.
Yeah. Exactly. Or maybe what you can do is just send us your query again on the Money Show. Thank you so much for asking us your question. We move on. We have Mr. Ray on phone line with us. Hi. Good evening. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much. Okay, so at present you have Parag Parikh Flexi Cap, PGIM Flexi Cap, you have Navi Nasdaq, you have Kotak Emerging Equity, DSP Mid Cap and Axis Small Cap. You've also, for diversification purpose, you've included Edelweiss, later China Offshore and Axis Focused Equity in your portfolio. You seem to be quite satisfied with your portfolio performance, and there are a few funds, you're tensed about there, or you're concerned about the underperformance out there. That's it. Is there anything else that you want to ask?
No, that's all.
All right. So clearly, it's DSP mid cap first. Gautam,
Yes.
he's been holding this since last 4 years.
Right. So, Mr. Ray, for DSP Midcap, what I'd suggest is that you can look at index fund. You could consider the Motilal Oswal Nifty Midcap 150 Index Fund as an alternative for your DSP Midcap allocation, which is about 5% of your allocation. And then you've got PGIM FlexiCap as well as Access Focused Equity. I think, yeah, you had asked also about the Access Focused Equity Fund. I would say consider both PGIM FlexiCap and Access Focused Equity to be moved to more large cap oriented if you are comfortable to like an HDFC top 100 fund because that will reduce your it will increase your allocation to your large cap space which we believe you should have a little bit more of. So from an allocation perspective, the funds are okay, but from an allocation perspective, this would be better for you to do.
Gautam, one question to you. Why a passive strategy in a mid-cap space? Have you given up on all the fund managers?
So there are a few active funds as well, and I could advise, but maybe about 5 to 10% allocation to passive strategy in the overall portfolio makes sense, and probably even take it up to 20. So that's something that we are gradually incorporating in our conversations. But for example, there's a Tata small cap fund which we recommend as well. So there are some funds obviously in the small and mid cap space that we are quite bullish about as well, which we can consider.
All right. Is there anything else you want to ask, Mr. Ray?
I was suggested to go for the more large cap oriented, but I was saying Parak Parik I have 40% of the allocation, and this PGIM FlexiCap also it is 20%. So which are more large cap oriented. So considering the economy, actually I saw many of the analysts saying that the mid cap and small cap they are going to perform better in coming 2-3 years. So is it better to consider more allocation to mid cap and small cap instead of the large cap?
Gautam?
Telling our client, yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, so we do have a similar view. We are telling our clients to stay invested in mid and small cap space. In fact, over the 18-month period, we do expect this space to outperform. But the conversation here, I'm having more from a long-term investment. If you're looking for tactical, then you're right on the money. You can probably even increase allocation to the mid and small space. But if you're looking at a long-term stable portfolio, because it's always a balance. If you're continuously chasing returns, then obviously you'll get some volatility along with that. So if you're looking at a portfolio perspective, you could consolidate and stick to let's say a 40%, 50% allocation to large cap.
Let's move on, and we have Mr. Gajendra on phone line with us. Hi, good evening. How are you doing?
Good, madam.
You have Kotak Standard Multi-Cap, Mira Asset Large Cap, ICICI Pro Equity and Debt, HDFC Small Cap, Kotak Emerging Equity. And for how many years you want to be invested in this portfolio, in these funds?
So for the next 20 years, I will continue.
All right. Any target corpus? Any target corpus that you want to accumulate?
I have not set target, but I am stepping up every year by 10%.
That's lovely. Gautam, over to you.
Right. So your portfolio looks good, and in fact, you should continue with most of your schemes. I think the last one, which is the ICICI Prudential Equity and Debt, which is an aggressive hybrid, you mentioned that you're willing to take more risk and make the portfolio a little bit more aggressive. So you could move part of that to ICICI Prudential Blue Chip Fund, which will then increase your equity allocation and reduce your debt allocation. So maybe about 2,800 of your 4,000 can be moved there. But otherwise, I think your funds are all okay. No need to make any changes.
All right. With that, I think, Gautam, thank you so much for being on the show and helping our viewers with their financial portfolio queries today.
Thank you.